Hi everybody, Matt here from Matt Likes Comics. This is my response to Allan's top 10 video challenge of the week, books I would not part with. Well, I have a little problem. Since I'm a hoarder, I admit it, I'm a hoarder. I've worked hard to try and not be, but I'm a hoarder. We all are if we're into collecting things really at heart, right? Because of that, I have 70 some short boxes of stuff that I will never get rid of. However, that is not the point that we're trying to make for this top 10 list. So I had to pick something. One of the things, though, I like about having all these books is I like having access to everything I own at all times. For the most part, it helps me make videos. It just makes me happy. And more than anything, it should make you happy. The best part of these top 10 videos is that I get to see what other people will never get rid of, what they love, because basically this comes down to what I love the most, really. And I like to see what you like, and more importantly, I get to possibly see covers and things that I've never seen before. That has always been the best part of doing YouTube comics channels, because not only am I showing books that you may have never seen before, but when I start watching other channels, I see books that I've never seen before, even just on a regular, like, oh, I went on a, dollar bin dive, and there's this book and this book and this book. So I couldn't pick just 10 because, I can never stick to the rules for this thing for whatever reason. I just have to be me. So I've actually got 13 books that I pulled out because I just couldn't narrow it to 10. Some of it is because of value, but all of it is because of sentimental value. So really, the actual value of the book, yes, a lot of these books are more valuable, but that is neither here nor there. It's more because of who I am and who I love. And I'm sure people are like, oh, I know 2 books that are coming up. And you'd be right if you're a long-time watcher of the channel. But let's get into this books. This here, Adventure Comics 332. It's an ironic book because it's a book where Lightning Lad becomes like Captain Ahab and goes after the whale. And for the longest time, this book was my whale. I literally spent 4 years trying to get a copy of this book, losing every auction I was in, not being able to find, not being able to find it on eBay whenever I was taking the time to check. And I finally got it from a while back, and I was able to finally, because of this was one of the last books I needed for my Adventure 300 to 380 Legion run. It wasn't the last, but it was close to it, and I got it, and I'm very happy. Also, because the story is really cool. Lightning Lad loses his arm in this book. He gets it back later. He gets better, but he loses his arm, and to me, it's also a Legion key. Next up, I know it's another Legion book, but this is Adventure Comics 351. And the reason that I would never get rid of this one is when I was a kid, this was the first comic I ever remembered reading and thinking, oh my God, there's so many heroes in here. There's Superboy, there's Supergirl, and a whole bunch of other cooler ones. This got me hooked on comics, and this got me hooked on the Legion. Adventure 351. And for some reason, they got my hat there. Another one that I would never get rid of is this. Allstar Comics 58, the first appearance of Power Girl. I never get rid of this because when I got back into collecting comics, this was the first, I want to say, big book I bought because this was the first book that I paid over $100 for. And because Power Girl is awesome, I need to have her first appearance. This was also the first, even as a kid, this was the first major character appearance I've ever had. I had a lot of minor character appearances, first appearances. I had like the first, the first appearance of Batman and the Outsiders back then and all that other stuff. But this was the first time I really got a book that I thought, wow, that's a big boy. Even though $100 it would cost me $135 Canadian at the time. And when I bought it, by the way, the Canadian dollar was worth more than the American dollar. So that should tell you how long I've had this too. So yeah, I would not get rid of this. It's very sentimental, both for the story, the person whose first appearance it is, and sentimental. Wow. The next one is a book that I know that you guys have seen a few times. DC Comics presents 59. Superman and the Legion of Substitute Heroes. And this book is worthless in terms of the, it's a dollar bin book. It's, for that kind of sort of thing. Excuse me. But for me, this story, I think I read it every day for a good 2 years going when I first got it. It's just too funny for me. I just loved it. It was just a 5-minute break from every day. It made me calm to go to sleep, and I liked it. Even though it's a dollar book and probably very easily replaced, I'd never get rid of it because I still, on occasion, when the stress gets really hard, pull this out and read it. DC Comics presents 59. This one, Conan 16, I would never get rid of because this is the first time that the story of the Frost Giant's daughter was told in a comic book. And that is my favorite Conan story. And so this is something I will never get rid of because it's my favorite Conan story from the novellas. And because I've actually read probably about half of the original Robert E. Howard novellas in print one way or another. So this was my favorite of what I've read, and this has been done a few times in comic books, but this was the first one, and this is because of that. This is very cool to me, and this is a book that I would never get rid of as a result. Next up, Conan 23, first appearance of Red Sonja. Another character who I love very much and would not give up because sentimental values. If I have a top 5 of characters I like, it would be Buffy, Supergirl, Batgirl. See, even after that, there's so many. Power Girl certainly goes up there, and I would say Red Sonja is definitely in the top 10, probably top 5. So I'm very happy to have this book, and as a result, I will not part with it. And here we go. Now we're going to get into some weird little different stories of why I like them. This is Detective Comics 526. And I like this one because just about every single villain who has fought Batman over the years is in it. They all team up and they all try to get together. Now, Batman defeats them all pretty easily, but the fact that you got to see characters in here that you hadn't seen in years, like the Gentleman Ghost, the Cavalier, Killer Moth, you even got, and Talia and Catwoman team up with Batman. It's so hilarious. You got to see Two-Face. You got to see, well, they're all basically here. Killer Croc, Cavalier, as I said, Catman, Joker, Two-Face, Penguin, Mr. Freeze. You name them all. They're pretty much there. This is a great story. And this is back when, at the end of the book, Batman talks to Jason Todd. This is a little longer today. I'm sorry. There's stories behind this stuff. That's why. This here is Supergirl #1. And I got this because this is one of my favorite Supergirl stories of all time. There's this mysterious character by the name of Wanda 5 in it who you never see again, who's supposed to be, her roommate. Linda Danvers went back to university in this one, and supposed to be her roommate. But, anyways, it's a cool story. It's a great book, and it was a good way to start off a Supergirl named series. This was her first Supergirl, her first solo series named Supergirl. And the Zatanna story in the back is pretty cool too, in the second story. Supergirl 1. I remember reading that one in a digest first, so when I finally got a copy of that, I was really happy to do so. Next up, when I was a kid, I really liked HeMan. So it was awesome for me when I got this DC Comics Presents 47. I got it a lot cheaper than I expected at the time, because I'd seen copies, and this is a 6.5, according to who I bought it from. This is a 6.5, and it's in pretty good shape. I mean, for a 6.5, which means it's probably a 7, because you know how my comic shop always undergrades. So, having He-Man's first appearance, I was chasing this as a kid, and I never got my hands on it. When I stopped collecting comics, I sort of forgot about it. But when I started collecting again, I actively went after this, but I had to save for it. So, I finally got it. It was not the last book I got for the DC Comics Presents run. Surprisingly, there's a Superman Joker book that was the last one I got, and that took me forever to find. I wonder why. Joker. Next up is one that I've really liked my entire life. This is Superman 199, and I want to thank Stephen Gettner because he gave me my current copy. I've always been a big fan of this book. I had the t-shirt, I had the book, I have the poster. I even have Jim Shooter signed the poster. I've, unfortunately, Kurt Swan and Carmen Infantino are long gone, as well as Jim now. I never was going to get their signatures anyway. So, but for the poster, I was not going to touch the book. Thank you very much, Stephen, if you're watching this video, for this book, by the way. I had passed on my old copy to Biggie Shack, who's if you're not watching Biggie Shack, you should. He's very fun and interesting. So there we go. Superman 199, first Flash Superman race, always a keeper. Those were 10. Here come the bonus 3. Yeah. This here, I've been a huge fan of Mad my entire life. So getting a copy of Mad 4 when I won this from a Pocket Full of Comics way back. Tyler, if you're still around, thank you. By still around, I mean I've seen you taking breaks periodically on YouTube, and you keep coming back. So if you see this video, thanks. Anyway, Mad 4. To have one of the Mad books that was a comic book was always a goal of mine. So when I finally got my hands on one, I was very excited. The fact that it's the Super Duper Man one, which as a super fan makes me very happy. So this is one I would never part with as well. And the last two. Are we really surprised? Action 252, I don't need to explain. Adventure Comics 247. I don't need to explain either. Thank you, Robbie, for both. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe below. Please tell me what you thought about the books. If there were books that you thought that you might want to keep yourself. If there are ones you think I'm being ridiculous, because we all know I'm being ridiculous with the Ambush Bug 59 right there, with the DC Comics Presents 59. But please comment, like, subscribe. I really appreciate it. If you want to join in, make a video, pick your books, make a video, hashtag Friday Comic Challenge, tag Comic Collector Geek, and if you'd like, tag me, because I watch all these videos whenever I can find them. I hit every weekend. Every weekend I hit hashtag Friday Comic Challenge to see what's come up, to try and catch them all. Thank you very much for joining me today. My name is Matt. I like comics. I would say I like them nefariously. I like comics, and I hope you do too. Bye, everybody.